Good morning. I'm just gonna grab my coffee. I got out here and I've started doing things and filming, and I haven't even had a sip of my coffee. So today I am harvesting some cut flowers and some filler things for my daughter's birthday party. She is having a tea party themed birthday party, and we are going to do some cute little table decorations. So I wanted to get out here and just like harvest some of the flowers from the garden, but I also need to prune the petunias. They have been beautiful and stunning, these petunias right here, but I need to prune them, so I thought I would use some of them as cut flowers in arrangements, because actually petunias are decent cut flowers, and show you that process and show you how I'm trimming them. I've been waiting, I wish I had trimmed them earlier in the week, but I've been waiting because of the party to trim them a little bit later, and they've gotten kind of over it. I know, I hope they can recover. All right, let's trim some petunias. So as you can see, let's see if I can get this. So as you can see, the petunias start to get leggy and they start to sort of fall over, and I want to encourage this upward growth. So I'm going to cut off some of these leggy limbs and try to lighten up. So some from the bottom that are just getting too leggy and long, and this is going to be a perfect little cut flower, and some from the top that are weighing everything down. I'm going to try not to do such a hard prune that the whole plant, has to completely reflush. And I'm taking some longer ones because I'm going to use those, like these long leggy ones that are just kind of wild. I'm going to use these for my little vase. I'm going to have like a bunch of little bud vases on the table. So I'm going to use some of the long ones for bud vases on the table, and that'll be perfect, and they'll be great little cut flowers. And now that I've taken all those off, you can kind of see, how it's already a little like lighter and coming up. I just kind of took all the things off. I'm going to pull all these deadheaded willow out here. I tried to take off all the things that are kind of pulling it down. Like there's one down here. You can see this big branch down here. It's just pulling the whole plant down. So I'll take that out. Just get under here and take out those. And that's gonna be really these are gonna be like my cut flowers. And then just to get a little bit more growth, I'm gonna take off the ends, which I know have buds on them, so I know this is hard, but if you take off, like kind of pinch back the ends, it's gonna also create a fuller, bushier plant, and you're gonna end up getting more of these blooms in the future, although it is really hard to do. I'm not gonna take off every one of them, but just enough to lighten that whole plant up. I mean, you can just see the lift on it is so much better. Just another little one. And this is gonna be so cute in a bud vase on our table. Okay, there's also some lettuce in this container that's actually still looking really good. And I've kind of been leaving it because it's just kind of pretty. Okay, here is the petunia that I'm really worried about. This one is just, it was growing under some of the other plants. I had a bunch of containers around here and it has gotten really leggy. So I'm just gonna come in. I'm gonna have to be a little bit more brutal with this one and try to just take off some of this length. See if we can't kind of freshen it up a little bit. Oh my goodness. I got these pretty early. I got them in, April, and so they've been growing for a while, and they've just gotten, they've just gotten kind of crazy. But as you can see, I'm still leaving plenty of green because I really don't want to damage this plant at all. And then there's a stem that's coming upright. This one's coming upright, so, this one belongs to the black petunia. But anyways, and then I'm going to take just the ends off. Yeah, you get a big haircut, sorry. just want to encourage all of this bushy growth. Hopefully we can get it to kind of flush out more and not be quite so wild. Okay, I think that that's enough that I've taken off that it'll hopefully do something, and not so much that the plant's going to be damaged at all. Like, we just want it to fill in here. I'm also going to I'm also going to prune this guy, this black petunia. I'm just going to take the ends off of it because these are staying really nice and bushy, so they're a little bit less work. Another cut flower that is really great is Gomphrena. So I'm going to cut a few of these, and you won't even notice. This plant is very full. Let's see if I can break it off. No, I'm gonna need to use the clippers. I'm just gonna snip off a few of these. They are super great cut flower. They're really great dried flower, so they will be really fun for the vases and the arrangements. The really fun thing too is that I'm doing a lot of bud vases and just like little like teacups full of flowers. So I don't even need long stems. So it makes like picking, you know, some stuff from the garden like this so easy. What I'm gonna use as filler in all of my little containers are going to be herbs. So I have a lot of herbs upstairs in the green stock planter. That's what I'm gonna use mostly. But I am gonna pick a little bit of this purple sage because I also want to just prune that a little bit, I think. Or should I let it go? Herbs do better if you prune them. Typically it's good. Maybe I'll pick some of the purple sage and some of the thyme here. So I've got some purple sage, which I haven't really been using because I honestly don't use sage that much. I'm actually growing this for Thanksgiving. So I think I'm gonna take these back a couple stems that are kind of getting in the way of things. And then I can take a little bit of oregano too. And some of this lemon thyme would be cute in the arrangements. Yeah, I'll harvest some of that. That lemon thyme smells amazing. It is so lemony. I just haven't been using a lot of herbs in my cooking lately. I feel like a lot of my summer recipes are sort of, I don't know, maybe not as hearty, but I need to make some tomato sauces and use some of those herbs. I also have I have a bunch of mint upstairs, and I think I'm gonna pick a bunch of mint for some containers too. Mint is such a good cut flower because it'll actually like root in your container. And typically basil would be something that I would use a lot too. All of my basil is tiny. This has been a weirdly terrible year for basil for me, which is so bizarre. I'm gonna end up having just like buying, I mean, I could even just buy one of those like packs of basil at the grocery store that's, you know, got roots on it and plant it, because all my basil is still tiny. It's not really doing anything yet. I'm sure it will get bigger. And I didn't really get any started basil because it's so easy to start from seed. And I have so much basil seed that I always feel like, oh, I should just, you know, start it from seed instead of from buying plants. But I have the one little basil plant, I guess, upstairs that I put in the window box planter. So that one I could use. But yeah, it's just like a very, very bizarre year for basil. I don't know what is happening. I'm trying to look and see what else I need to, or I want to grab for my arrangement. There's all kinds of things I could use. These are my rose bushes that I grabbed at the grocery store that are gonna be part of the centerpieces, and they're just cute little small roses, but really beautiful. And I've been trying to baby them this week so that they still look good for the party, which I think they look really nice. This is a pretty one, it's green, which I hadn't really, I don't know, I guess I had never really thought about or seen green roses. I really like them. I think they're really beautiful. And then of course, like the apricot. And then another thing I'm gonna use for the centerpieces, on a whim, I was at the garden center and I got kind of some plants that I didn't really need. I ended up buying a couple more little pink angelonia, then realized, of course, I have a lot of pink in my garden. This happens to me every year. Last year I bought like all blue plants and I kept just buying blue plants. I'm like, what am I doing? I don't need more blue. So I'm cutting myself off. No more pink plants from the garden center. I thought this would be really cute. Obviously put them in some little decorative pots, and they're kind of like Tea Party, Mad Hatter looking little plants, I thought, you know, very cute. So next to the roses, so I think if I put these in some like little, you know, blue and white pots next to the roses, that'll be a cute little centerpiece for the different tables and look very, I don't know, Tea Party-ish. And of course I could pick all kinds of other things. I do, when I'm looking at things to trim, I think I'm gonna trim back this Nemesia while I'm out here, not exactly using it for my arrangements because it's not actually looking that good, but I just think it needs a little bit of a trim. And I see some fresh growth trying to grow. So you know what? I'm gonna just do that while I'm out here. While we're doing all this, let's trim this back. I wasn't quite sure whether or not to trim the Nemesia, but, and I could be much more delicate about this, I suppose, but I'm seeing all this fresh growth coming up here, and so I think that this is definitely time. Yeah, you can see that they're starting to put on new growth. They're ready for new bloom stalks. So let's get all this old stuff out of here. And let's get some new blooms. It's been blooming since, I mean, these are some of the first plants I got. Nemesia are a very good, like cold, hardy flower. They really can handle a little bit of cold temperature. The last thing that I'm gonna take are just a couple stems of these. I don't know if they're gonna be a good cut flower, but I'm just gonna take 2 to add. And we'll put them in some water and see how they do. Oh, and one more. So this, stay tuned, more on this container, but I did get a dahlia, like I said I wasn't going to, and let's cut it for the birthday party. All right, and here is our pile of blooms. Nothing like a box of flowers. I love it. I'm gonna take all these guys back inside and put them in some water, get them ready for the bud vases. Thank you so much for spending a little morning out here with me in the garden. I'll try to grab a few pictures if I can of how it ends up looking. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.